Time to find out who truly is the king of games.
It's over, Victor!
I'm Ashley with WatchMojo, and these are the top 10 most powerful duelists in Yu-Gi-Oh! For this list, we're looking at some of the most powerful Duel Monsters players throughout the anime series based on their win counts, strategy, and how much they've grown as a competitor. If you've never seen these duelists at their peak, there will be spoilers. But before we get to that, I'm on Twitter at AshJBo, so head over there, give me a follow, and let me know who your favourite Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist is. I'll be waiting. Number 10, Joey Wheeler, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. When Joey started off, his main strategy was simply warrior monsters and few trap and magic cards, with a little extra firepower from Red Eye's Black Dragon.
Inferno Fire Blast!
However, as the series progressed, his deck became a lot more well-rounded, with enhancements to give his monsters a little power boost and a heavier emphasis on luck and games of chance.
Too late, Roba. Both your monsters are destroyed, and you're history!
Unfortunately, this OG underdog has taken more than his fair share of beatings, but he's too brave and stubborn to back away from a challenge, especially if it's in honor of his loved ones. Plus, we all know for a fact that Joey could have beaten Marek if the plot didn't demand otherwise. That loss was just cruel and unfair.
Joey!
Number 9, Declan Akaba, Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. Declan is probably the youngest duelist ever to be allowed to duel in the professional circuit. Hard to say we're surprised, since not only has he aced Pendulum Summoning the moment he discovered it, but has also mastered all 3 extra deck types at the same time: Fusion, Synchro, and Xyz.
DDD とはすなわちディファレントディメンションデーモン異次元を無制する王の力たっぷり味わうがいい。
For his deck, Declan utilizes the DD and DDD archetypes, and his most powerful beasts are the Super Doom King Armageddon monsters, all of which eerily resemble previous Yu-Gi-Oh! Villains.
出現せよレベル10 DDD 超仕様パープリッシュヘルアーマゲドン。
While both archetypes have their drawbacks, Declan's strategies help him avoid the negative effects of working with these fiendish cards while harnessing their might to devastate his opponents.
さあ来るがいい赤羽よこの鉄壁の布陣を崩せるものならやってみろ。
Number 8, Jack Atlas, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds and Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. Whether from the 5Ds canon or the Arc 5 Synchro Dimension, Jack has always been the self-proclaimed master of faster.
優勢よデュエルとはモンスターだけでは勝てない
An arrogant claim, but he does have a powerhouse deck to prove his might. Heavy emphasis on power. His main strategy involves enabling himself to synchro summon his devastating ace monsters, Red Dragon Archfiend in 5Ds and Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend in Arc 5, as well as their respective upgraded forms.
現れよ荒ぶる魂レッドデーモンズドラゴンスカーライト
Both dragons are devastating on their own, but just to be safe, Jack also likes to protect his beloved beasts with traps to strengthen their power and overwhelm his opponents. It definitely pays off for Jack. After all, how many rivals can boast on defeating 2 main protagonists at least once?
キングの前にひれ伏せ
Number 7, Kite Tenjo, Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, or Zeal, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. Whether as a number-hunting anti-hero or a member of the Resistance, Kite is a duelist that commands respect and has the tools to earn it. Zexal Kite utilizes a Photon Xyz deck, storming the field with light monsters to summon his signature Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon and its even deadlier upgraded forms.
Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, prepare to attack! Blast Machu Mech with ultimate photon stream of destruction!
His Xyz Dimension counterpart in Arc 5 has 2 aces up his sleeve, his photographic memory, and the Cypher cards to give his monsters a needed boost to call forth the Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon, a blinding juggernaut that can hijack his opponent's monsters.
降臨せよランク8ギャラクシーアイズサイフ
To top it all off, Kai achieves what other rival characters dare to dream of, never even once losing to his main series protagonist.
How'd I do? Huh? Okay, for losing.
Number 6, Yuya Sakaki, Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. After being stripped of his power, Z-Arc was split into 4 reincarnations, each representing a fragment of his personality and one of the 4-dimension dragons. Yuya, our main protagonist, inherited Z-Arc's need to entertain, and discovered the power of pendulum summoning. Equipped with his trusty Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, this duel-tainer boasts one of the highest win ratios in the franchise. While accolades like the Friendship Cup cement him as an awesome duelist, perhaps his greatest accomplishments are beating legends such as Asta Phoenix, Crow Hogan, and Jack Atlas. Number 5, Jaden Yuki, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Out of all the main protagonists, Jaden easily has the most duels under his belt, and let's be honest, the most normal haircut.
That's game!
Naturally, with such a high duel count comes an equally high win count, and only a small handful of losses. From the start, his deck was centered on the elemental heroes, superhero-like warriors with a vast selection of fusion combinations.
Alright, Flare Wingman! Now let's get our pal souls back!
Later on, he adapted his deck to include the Neospatians, alien creatures of his own design that could contact fuse without the use of polymerization.
Neospatian, Aqua Dolphin, showtime!
With a near limitless amount of fusion combinations, Jaden definitely has one of the most versatile decks in the anime and has well earned his spot at the head of the class.
That's game! And a sweet one too!
Number 4, Yusaku Fujiki, Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains. Unfortunately, Yusaku, the most recent protagonist, hasn't dueled as much as others in the series. However, his scoreboard more than makes up for that, since, aside from a few traumatic flashbacks, he has never lost a single match in the series. His key to success lies within his Cyburst deck, swarming the field with weaker beasts and smaller link monsters in order to link summon his more powerful combatants, including the Firewall Dragon or his army of Code Talkers. Later on, Yusaku starts implementing more non-link summoning methods to bring even stronger beasts onto the field, and if push comes to shove, he can unleash his deadliest beast of all, the Firewall Dragon Dark Fluid. Number 3, Seto Kaiba, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. As the OG rival, Kaiba's ultimate end goal is to be the #1 duelist of all time. His lust for power is ultimately reflected in his deck, which is filled to the brim with brutish, ferocious beasts, including the legendary Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Wipe out her life points with White Lightning Attack!
Kaiba's use of dragons may seem excessive, but he definitely knows how to use them to obliterate his opponent, and if needed, he can always sabotage his enemy's deck with some handy trap cards.
And as if that weren't enough, watch as my Crush card destroys both monsters on the field, as well as every powerful monster in your entire deck.
Unfortunately, despite his merciless deck and immense power, Kaiba ends up just barely losing to Yugi in nearly every duel they have together. In fact, the only time he's ever actually beaten Yugi was by unfairly forcing him to surrender. Not cool, Kaiba boy.
Couldn't do it, huh?
White Lightning Attack!
Number 2, Yusei Fudo, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. As one of the more brooding, mature protagonists, Yusei is definitely a force to be reckoned with. The only time we've ever seen him lose was in a flashback against Jack Atlas. There have also been a handful of duels he never finished, but there's no guarantee he would have lost those matches. Other than that, Yusei has a nearly spotless record of wins. The majority of those wins are thanks to him playing it smart and being able to adapt to any card he's given. It also doesn't hurt to have been loaded with low-level monsters, so he can easily access his more heavy-hitting synchro summons, including his most formidable ace, the Stardust Dragon. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Yugi Muto and Yami Yugi. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. It's only fair to have both Yugi and Yami in one entry, since they've both shared a body and the title of the OG King of Games. Call it plot armor or the heart of the cards, but they almost always miraculously draw the card they need to turn the duel in their favor. A lot of that is thanks to the well-rounded and adaptable cards in their deck, including their iconic Dark Magician.
Dark Magician! Attack! Your Judgman falls!
Throughout the original series, these two have only lost a handful of times, mostly on their own terms. While Yami does most of the battling, it's Yugi who ultimately proved himself by the end of the series, by beating his other half in their final duel.
Attack his life points directly!
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.